All right, Brad. So we've talked a lot about the underlying technology and the how, but I'm really curious more about the why. Why is it you guys are reaching out so far here to build this? Who is it for? And what is the impact going to be?
So, 100%. So, like everything, why do you need a car, right? To go do things in your life. And so we built this technology, which is, you and I both know it is a blockchain. It is a layer two. That's well established. The
Mhm.
reason we did it is because we've seen an opportunity to be of service to Canadian veterans, to American veterans in a way that's not perfect, that it's just not being done yet, especially in the United States. Like in Canada, we have support mechanisms. And, at a federal level, in the United States, you don't. And so we're going to do what every good company, private enterprise should do, reach out and support the most vulnerable, which are like veterans coming back dealing with issues.
Mhm.
So by recording cannabis onto the blockchain, providing a feedback, and then most importantly, or just as importantly, is providing free post-traumatic growth courses. We're providing something that isn't done on either side of the border, Michael. Like it's not being done. Community coaching, cannabis.
Yeah, it's always great to see other people enterprising in ways that will actually benefit communities. And it is a community that needs a lot right now. So then kind of getting down to the value proposition of what you guys are bringing technology wise, you had mentioned you guys are a true layer two blockchain. And I think that's really important because as projects go in the blockchain crypto space, so to speak, a lot of them are speculative plays. That is essentially the goal of the project, which is to get a lot of people interested and then ride the train up and down price wise over and over and over again. But that does not put blockchain in a good light. What you guys are doing does put blockchain in a good light because it's an actual use case for blockchain. We are not just trying to corral a bunch of people, a crypto degen, so to speak, to get in there to just give you guys a bunch of money.
No, 100%. And so, I mean, it's gotten to the point where we use Web 3.0 instead of blockchain. Look, this is a purpose-built blockchain. This is actually there for a reason. And yes, you do put an Ethereum wallet as a veteran or a consumer in your phone. But what that allows you to do is interact. Once again, remember, we've always said this. It's about people who make things and people consume things and connecting them. Because this guy has a product story and this guy has an answer to that product story. And especially when you're telling a guy who's either got PTSD or post-traumatic, or TBI, traumatic brain injury, which show very much a similar way. You need to have people talking to each other, right? It's like and blockchain, when everybody's on the same peer-to-peer network, gives you the ability to have community, and then you start to layer facts. And like I said, I was talking with a fellow who used to, for not saying the name, run the e-commerce for a very, very high-end brand, like extremely high-end brand. It begins with the letter V. Let's just leave it at that. So, but the point around it, he said, well, we've done stuff on blockchain, but what we've never done is we never attached the consumer experience. And I know why, because the infrastructure that was built around marketing.
Mhm.
But what does that brand really care about? They care about people who buy those types of products because it's a high-end brand. Well, as a veteran, I care about what other veterans think who are using it, who have similar issues or injuries. That's what I care about, right? I don't care about somebody's opinion on social media who's never done this or whatever, and they have a voice, right? No offense to it. What I care about is a one-to-one conversation. And
Yeah.
that's what I expect and demand. And I expect and demand truthful, honest product reviews and products. And only blockchain can do that. And we've done that because we own a layer two.
Yeah, and let's talk about that a little bit. In terms of one of the biggest benefits of blockchain, one of the you'd almost call it phenomenons it's had is it's built a lot of communities around it. People actually gravitate towards it, and there is a massive level of transparency there with the blockchain. As you said, hey, this is a real person on the other side of this, and you can authenticate that, and you can see what they do, and when they share input, it's real input, and that actually ties a true value proposition to their input as opposed to potentially faked reviews or just people just shouting into the ether, so to speak.
There's no bots on the Efixii blockchain. There can't be, unless the bot has got a set of eyeballs, can do a facial recognition, so they can do an attestation of their opinion or a crop. And it's even when we do reward programs, like based on our last news release, and we do couponing, you can't game the system.
Mhm.
You can game it. Smart contracts create a very cool thing that allow us to write a set of rules that say this is we're facilitating a relationship. And that's really what the last news release was about, is about our expansion of the Citizen Green brand into the United States from Canada. We launched our storefront, right? We all know the Canadian government is paying close to 10 or $9,500 a year for each veteran.
Yeah.
Like we said in the press release, we got 100 guys in the bullpen waiting to move their prescriptions over. I mean, we get 800 guys to the top line of Citizen Green Ventures. That's like $7.5 million of federal government money. Plus, we're doing the only ones, plus offering online the post-traumatic growth courses through our partnership with Special Forces and Parents. We're taking a model of that to the United States and understanding that there's no federal support, but what we can do is we can provide a discount coupon on a regular basis. Because right now, vets down there are chasing products.
Mhm.
You know, what's on sale. Because if a guy's on disability, doesn't got a lot of money. So how can we provide and work with cultivators and retailers to provide an ongoing, consistent product that people, when they get feedback, it actually is meaningful,
Yeah.
plus the courses. And that's all done through what we announced in Uplift. And so Uplift really is about the American vision, the American picture. And you know what? Yes, of course, we want them to share this with their family members and friends so we can offer them non-Canada products. There's nothing wrong with that. But we're committed 100% to do the right by the people that deserve it.
Yeah, fair enough. And you know what I think a lot of people miss is where there is a need, there is an opportunity. And you're not talking about just finding ways to get retailers to give stuff away. You've built this ecosystem to where every person interacting in the ecosystem benefits from the ecosystem. So can you kind of walk through that a little bit more?
For sure. So if you create something on the blockchain, you're the first step to making a truthful story of the product. And that's not undue. That's not uncommon. When you put the QR code on the package and the consumer scans it, you know, you don't need blockchain for that. You can just do it on the website. But when they see a truthful attestation on that product run, on the other products came before, now there's trust. Then by connecting through using couponing, what happens is you now give that consumer a call to action, right? And so he can find that QR code all different places. It can be in the store, it can be whatever. But at the end of the day, he takes that to the till and he now has a transactional value with the guy at the till. So now you've got a retailer saying, okay, I will accept this coupon, right? But then he needs, so you got to walk away, you got a customer who's got the product, he's got a discount, he's happy. It's a trusted product, it's truthful, it's a premium product. Like that's the whole thing about blockchain. It creates a premium product. You don't get to lie on you lie on the blockchain, you can't ever get rid of that lie. There's no hiding behind it.
No.
So now you have the retailer with a coupon. How does he get made whole? Well, one thing that is very awesome about blockchain is it disintermediates people. So why do you need a clearinghouse? To validate to a retailer that that is worth something. But if you're on a peer-to-peer network, so as soon as the smart contract sees that you have the coupon, turns around, sends it to the brand that made the coupon, turns around, sends you back USDC. And you can do that because it's a bi-party lateral agreement. You can exchange USDC. By the time the guy's gone, not even 15 minutes later, you're paid for that coupon as a retailer. You're paid for it. That's amazing. Now, what you've got is you've got three parties, a smoothing of information. That you have, the brand knows what the POS date is. Sorry to tell you that, retailers, but you're not going to mind that because the brand is the one driving footfall into your store. Because the guy walks in there and buys something at coupon, people just don't buy one thing, they buy five things. Their time is valuable. See what I mean? So it's an eco-based system that gives back. You got a happy brand dealing with a happy customer, dealing with a happy retailer. Everybody's making money. Everybody has visibility. Supply chains are smooth. Better products are being created. Let's just put it this. What retailer in the world doesn't want to pay a minimal fee, get new customers, get upsell from those new customers, right? For what less than what their normal marketing costs are now. And what brand doesn't want to do that? And then be able to understand what it takes to keep that person coming back in. We have a lot of choices as consumers. Our job is to connect everybody. There's an absence of responsibility around information. Because at the end of the day, you know, blockchain creates something that we call transparency of action. Because if there's no consumers, there's no reason to somebody build somebody. Without those two, there's nobody in the middle, right?
Yeah.
And that's all we're doing is we're connectivity all the way through, lowering costs, kicking the middlemen out that are gouging and making too much money for not adding enough value.
Yeah, fair enough. And everybody has to understand how valuable data is at this point in time. If you don't understand it, Facebook just laid off several people who they just had bought as talent, and then they didn't, like, for hundreds of thousands of dollars in salary, and they didn't have to do anything. They were just kind of pulling talent in. The reason why I say that is Facebook makes money off of your data. Data matters. The problem with data is it's valuable, so there's also lots of junk data out there. Blockchain eliminates that junk data, and that is invaluable. That is absolutely invaluable. And by eliminating that junk data, eliminating the middlemen, as you had said, then you open up a whole realm of possibilities where the ecosystem is essentially significantly healthier, so everyone benefits.
So I really want everybody to hear this statement. This is an important statement. There's two people that you're going to know the identity of: the retailer and the brand. They're KYC. We KYC them. You don't get to get on there and game and be a scam company. Everybody else is anonymous. And you go, well, that'll leak. No, it doesn't, because the thing is, the only way you can download the app is through facial recognition protocols that are built into your phone anyways. And the reason I can do that is I own it. You can't put an opinion onto the blockchain without it scanning your face. So there's no scamming it. The only way you can add a coupon is onto a purchase, or an opinion is onto a purchased product. It's bulletproof. You're anonymized, because at the end of the day, you know what retailers care about? Like, this whole thing about data and that kind of data. I need to know Brad Moore's. I need to know about Moore's, his sex, his height, his weight, his age. No, you don't. I'm sorry. I'm going to push back on the statement. What's important is the action behaviors that I take with my wallet and my credit card, because that's what they really care about. Let's just cut to it, right? So if you and I, as a brand and as a consumer, have a relationship where you tell me truthful things about the products and I tell you a truthful story, even if I tell you, Mike, I don't like it, and you go, thanks, Brad, here's $1 off. Maybe I'll like it a little bit more the next time. Maybe I just had a bad day. But through truthful attestations, we only do that on a one-to-one basis. Like, put it this way, what's really interesting with the coupon, and I'll let people simmer about this, because we want to work with CBD products beyond cannabis. We want to work with health products. We want to work with beauty products. We want to work with organic products. We want to work with craft things like wine and stuff. Because we think that and we want to work with small to medium-sized companies, because we think that they're the ones that don't have the big marketing budgets to buy point of sale displays and TV and social media commercials. So by scanning, connecting them one-to-one with the consumer. So if I came to you as a wine company, I said, look, how about this? Well, if you got a $15 bottle of wine, well, you give me a marketing budget of $1.46, and I split that between the retailer and the brand. And what I'll do is I'll ensure that your customers have a $5 discount on that brand. And what that will do is create direct connectivity. I'll walk into that retailer. He'll be happy because he's got more footfall, right? I'll make sure you understand with the POS data, how things are bought and sold and by who, right? I'll preserve the integrity of the relationship, through transparency of action. All for $1.46. Look how you're spending money now. Email blast, bomb, bomb, bomb. What is it you need me to do as a consumer to buy your product and to buy it again? Right, Michael? It's not about one time. It's about again. We can facilitate that. That's what we've done with the rewards programs. We've seen examples of how to create interest in brands through the mTry token. We have all these things are built. And as of April, it's all coming up to market. And we're having incredible conversations with incredible companies, cultivators, veterans groups in the United States, and non-cannabis brands are happening already. It's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, and one of the key things you had mentioned there was it matters what's happening, what the person's doing with their wallet. So then I'm curious, kind of pulling the conversation in a specific direction. What is the value of each person on the Efixii blockchain, then, so to speak?
Oh, it's a good question. So we know in Canada, what's the value of a veteran? $9,500 Canadian, right? Put a multiple on that, so that puts it somewhere around, I don't know, 27,000, 28,000 bucks Canadian, which is, I don't know, 15 bucks US, just kidding. So it's around 22, 24,000 bucks US. It's a lot for what? So the value of a one veteran in Canada, and then think about his family members, and he goes, you know what, man? Like, I love this community. I'm getting information from other veterans on how stuff is working. I'm getting these things. And then they say, now, look, hey, in my case, to my wife, hey, you know what? I just got this new cool product, came up with a coupon on it for a shampoo. What do you think? Would you like it? Yeah, sure. She sends it. She downloads it. Then what's her expectation of mine? And in times of high inflation, we all need a break. You see what I'm doing? It's like or not what I'm doing. It's like what we're trying to achieve is like, there's a need and a requirement. People want a better way to buy. They want an honest way to have an interaction.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of noise out there. So, so what is the value? We suspect maybe the value of a U.S. veteran's wallet might be around 3,000, 3,500 bucks a year, maybe more, maybe less. But, we also know that, look, if you like the way this experience has gone for you, the community, the things we can do those for other non-cannabis products for you to make your life better, to make your experience better, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't need to know that you're Brad Moore. I don't need to know your name's Michael. I don't need to know what province or state you live in. What I need to know is to have a relationship that's based on what I call transparency of action. I say this honestly because you can't get away with lying on the blockchain, because you do. It's never going away, right? And transparency of action from me as a consumer. I respond. Extremely powerful. Not yet done. You know the space probably better than I do on the crypto side, right? Mm-hmm. You want another purpose built. There's a lot of people storing stuff on the blockchain because it's cool, but
yeah, there's all sorts of people utilizing the blockchain and tokenizing things on different blockchains, which again is a somewhat risky thing to do, if not outright illegal if they're publicly traded.
Yes.
You have to be careful not to create securities. And so there's a lot of people doing something similar, but none of them that have said, all right, here, we're going to make this our own ecosystem. It's on our own blockchain. Get rid of the ideas of the blockchain being something that's just a speculative venture. Let's put this thing to use. And you what you guys are proposing is essentially a technology. And while you guys are kicking off largely with this veterans thing, which is something that, again, is something definitely worth diving into, it is an industry agnostic technology at the end of the day.
100%.
Where are you guys so far in kicking this thing off, and what comes next?
Well, Citizen Green Canada is up and going. That storefront in our partnership with Santa, big shout out to them, and in our partnership with the Special Forces Experience to provide Santa provides the cannabis, we provide the blockchain technology, aka the community, and Special Forces Experience in Canada provides the coaching. That's up, it's going. Like I said, we got 100 guys in the bullpen. It takes time because you have to move a prescription over, and there's a whole thing you got to do legally with Health Canada. And then on the other side of that, we have in United States, we're already in a lot of conversations with veterans groups. And when we turn around, we say, hey, this is what we're doing. What's the downside? So watch for some exciting developments around that, and working with it. And then, like I said, it's not for the cultivators we've talked to saying, I got a lot of guys are going to download a lot of apps and they're expecting to see something in there. Let me show you how you can be part of this at no very limited risk to yourself, like extremely around, especially around the cost of the couponing, right?
Mhm.
And then walking into the basically walking into the retail where those products are sold and saying, hey, these guys are coming in your store, they're going to go 3 blocks down to this guy's because both products are sold there. So do you want to be in a Efixii retail? And let me explain that. And let me explain how this is simple and easy for you.
Yeah.
Simple, that's the key. Frictionless.
It sounds like the retailers are they're going to kind of be hit on both prongs here, both by customers and by the brands as well, to the point where, yeah, it's going to be sign up or you're going to lose business to someone who will.
Yeah, like who doesn't want footfall, right? Who doesn't want net new things walk in? Like I said, most people buy anything you don't buy one of, you know. So the couponing program is just basically, it's just so like what we've done, and I don't say this lightly. Efixii is now fintech. I don't say that lightly. That's a big statement. But the ability to like remove the middleman, we needed the mechanism to be able to create a flow in between the two KYC parties, right? And that was what was critical. And so with this release that's coming out, knock on wood for 420, right? For our partners over at DemTry, that's pretty exciting for them, their ability to do this in the state of California. You're gonna just see an explosion of activity, right? A lot of really good things coming. Like I said, where this is not something we've been on this for a long time
Mhm.
to be able to get to that point, to do the math, to be able to write the smart contracts, to make sure it works, to minimize the risk, to create it so it's frictionless, to see where the pain points were where we could win. And I think we finally arrived there, and I'm very excited about it.
Wonderful. Well, Brad, this has been a long time coming, and it was great catching up with you again on this. If anyone has any questions, which I'm sure you guys do, don't be afraid to send them over. We'll happily answer them. And there will be more things, of course, coming soon. So thank you for your time. Everybody stay tuned and have a wonderful day.
Thanks.